Good evening, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversation with the Ancients. Tonight, it's Halloween night on our channel. It's so much fun. So, I have on my beautiful unicorn that I had last year, and I'm going to do trick or treating this year in it. So, I'm excited about it. Hey, Leah, how are you today?
Hey, Leah.
And Heather, you look fabulous as a flapper. I love it. That's fantastic. So let's add to the stage. Tonight's show is all about Halloween. And you know how I love Halloween. I knew unicorns were real. Oh, I love it. Thank you, sweetie. I'm real. I'm real. For real. You've got cards tonight, Heather. How are your cards looking today?
So, and it matches with the card that you drew too.
Right. I pulled I was using Seasons of the Witch. I always pull a card before the show. And it was interesting because I got the Wolf card, which is the last card in the deck. And it's all about freedom. And I thought it was really neat that it was the last card in the deck. Wolf is calling to remind you that you know your way home. You may feel lost or confused about something in your life. You may not know which direction to travel or what is safe to pick along the way. Wolf allows your instinct to take over. You receive this guidance through the urges you feel. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's neat that it goes along with yours as well. Hey, yeah. Amanda Carroll, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Because my first card was
let me take this down so they can see your card.
A vibration. That's because that's who we are. That's what we are. We are our vibration. And it says sometimes in our vibrations, they said immunity gets in the way. And I'm going, what do you mean immunity? And they're talking about our current beliefs, those beliefs that we think protect us, that maybe they aren't in the way and maybe they aren't true anymore. They're things that
outdated belief systems.
Mm-hmm. And they get in the way of our vibration.
It does, doesn't it? They do.
Yeah, they do.
They really do, for sure.
They said, and meanwhile, our spirit is continuing to keep contact with all of our people and guides up above. And our human body is trying to assist us in what we're doing. And part of that assistance is bringing those things up so that we can get rid of them.
Right. Okay?
That's part of their assistance. But then they're saying that what you need to do is manifest. Now, if you're manifesting, you are automatically setting your vibrations, and you're bringing your vibrations up so that you can manifest. And when you do that, your frequency will shift back to being what it should be, or up to being where it's supposed to be. But those quote immunities, old thoughts aren't in the way anymore.
They're just those things that we have to release.
Yeah. It's like
that are no longer serving us, right?
Right. So pay attention to your instincts, like her card said.
Yeah. Instincts and intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Super important with that thin veil that we have these days. I love it. Yes, Akila is going to be here.
Yay.
Akila is going to be here Saturday evening. I'm so excited. We're looking forward to it, Akila. I know everybody else is really going to enjoy it. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about Halloween. But if you didn't get a chance to see our show last Tuesday on empowering women, please, please, please go have a look at it. And tonight we'll just discuss what we know about Halloween and some of the traditions. So we love questions. If you have questions or if you have certain Halloween traditions that you like to do, let us know as we go along because that's going to be fun. Hey, Laurie Hunsinger.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome to our Halloween edition.
Mhm.
I'm going to have to take this off. Sorry, guys. It's a little warm. And I'll put it up later. Maybe. Okay, so first of all, Halloween's origins. I'm gonna have to mute you, Heather. I don't know why. Um, Halloween's origins date back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, spelled Samhain. Figure out how you get Samhain out of that, because I haven't been able to figure it out. The Celts who lived around 2,000 years ago, mostly in the area that is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France, celebrated their new year on November 1st. This day marked the end of summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, a time of year that was often associated with human death. Celts believed that on the night before the new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. On the night of October 1st, they celebrated Samhain when it was believed the ghosts of the dead returned to Earth to cause trouble and damage crops, as well as making it easier for the Druids or the Celtic priests to make predictions about the future. For a people entirely dependent on volatile natural world, these prophecies were an important source of comfort during the long, dark winter.
To commemorate the event, Druids built huge sacred bonfires where the people gathered to burn crops and animals as sacrifices to the Celtic deities. When the celebration was over, they relit their hearth fires, which they had extinguished earlier, from the sacred bonfire to help protect them during the coming winter. So it was like, put out the fire, we're getting a new fire. And during this celebration, the Celts wore costumes, typically consisting of animal heads and skins, and attempted to tell each other's fortunes. The tradition of dressing in costume for Halloween is both European and Celtic roots. Hundreds of years ago, winter was as uncertain and a frightening time. Food supplies often ran low, and for many people who were afraid of the dark, the short days of winter were full of constant worry. On Halloween, when it was believed that ghosts came back to the earthly world, people thought that they would encounter ghosts if they left their homes. So, to avoid being recognized by these ghosts, people would wear masks. And when they left their homes after dark, so that the ghosts would mistake them as fellow spirits. That's why they wore their masks.
By AD 43, the Roman Empire had conquered the majority of Celtic territory. In the course of the 400 years that they ruled Celtic lands, two festivals of Roman origin were combined with the traditional Celtic celebration of Samhain. The first was Feralia, a day in late October when the Romans traditionally commemorated the passing of the dead. The second was a day to honor Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit and trees, and her symbol was the apple, and the incorporation of these celebrations into Samhain probably explains the tradition for bobbing for apples that is practiced today on Halloween. I haven't seen anybody bob for apples since I was a kid. On May 13th AD, Pope Boniface IV dedicated the Pantheon in Rome in honor of all Christian martyrs, and the Catholic feast of All Martyrs' Day was established in the Western Church. Pope Gregory later expanded the festival to include all saints as well as all martyrs and moved the observance from May 13th to November 1st.
And I was going to say, we did bobbing for apples in Scouts.
Did you? How many years ago was that, dear?
A long time ago, my
Oh, right. It's
But
been
we
a
also
while.
did bobbing for apples without the water because it was determined that that was unhealthy. We'd hang the apples from girders in the older buildings or the ceiling, and they
Mhm.
would have to eat the apple
Try
on
to
the
grab the apple, yeah, on the string. I've
yeah.
seen that too. That's funny. Hi, Livy-Ann.
So there were modifications made for health reasons. So anyway,
Bad.
by the 9th century, the influence of Christianity had spread into Celtic lands, where it gradually blended with the supplanted older Celtic rites. The Catholics were, I had read one place where they said the Catholics were very, very smart, but they incorporated what they
Mhm.
wanted them to practice and to believe. They incorporated in with their own old customs so that it wasn't quite so stark for them.
Exactly.
Mhm. So neither the Romans nor the Anglo-Saxons, who took what is now England from the Romans in the 5th century AD, were able to successfully invade Ireland. And this enabled the Celtic tribes that had settled there, namely the Gauls and the Irish, to survive and allowed their culture to flourish. And when Christianity arrived in Ireland with St. Patrick in 432 AD, many Celtic traditions were incorporated into the new religion. However, even with Christianity's newfound prominence, traces of Celtic cultures remained. Ireland's national symbol, the shamrock, which is a
No,
four-point
it's
leaf,
3.
and that's a 3, but this one's a 4.
No,
3,
no.
that's right, should be 3.
They have to be 3. It's
For
clover if
the
it's 4.
Trinity, for the Catholic tradition, the Father being God, the Son being Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. So that's why there's 3 leaves. And the Celtic cross, the one on the other side there, represents the region's unique take on the Catholic cross. In addition, many Celtic folklore stories, such as the legend of Cú Chulainn, are still told in Ireland.
Interesting. The first American colonists in New England. Oops, it's doing it again. The first American colonists in New England were forbidden to celebrate it for religious reasons, though it's enjoyed some popularity in the southern colonies. As the beliefs and customs of different European ethnic groups and the American Indians meshed, a distinctly American version of Halloween began to emerge. The first celebrations included play parties, which were public events held to celebrate the harvest. Neighbors would share stories of the dead, tell each other's fortunes, dance, and sing. Colonial Halloween festivities also featured the telling of ghost stories and mischief making of all kinds. Sounds like it hadn't really changed much. By the middle of the 19th century, annual autumn festivities were common, but Halloween was not yet celebrated everywhere in the country. And Irish immigrants escaping the devastating potato famine brought with them many Halloween traditions that remain today.
And in the late 1800s, there was a move in America to mold Halloween into a holiday more community and neighbor get-togethers than about ghosts, pranks, and witchcraft. They tried to tame it. At the turn of the century, Halloween parties for both children and adults became the most common way to celebrate the day. I remember my parents having Halloween parties for the choir. They were choir directors, and so everybody came up to our house and everybody was wearing costumes. We weren't allowed to be around them. We had to stay upstairs in our rooms, but they had their big party. Parties focused on games, foods of the season, and festive costumes. Parents were encouraged by newspapers and community leaders to take anything frightening or grotesque out of Halloween celebration.
That didn't last long.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We played tapes of ghoulie sounds. Anybody who rang the doorbell had something going on. We had more kids running away from the door, I can tell you.
That's funny.
Well, because of these efforts, Halloween lost most of its superstitious and religious overtones by the beginning of the 20th century. And by the 1920s and 30s, Halloween had become a secular but community-centered holiday with parades and town-wide Halloween parties as featured entertainment. And that's even greater now. I mean,
Now look how horrible these costumes are. Hey, don't go any further yet. Let me put these two videos, slides up, because these are really scary. And this is in the 20s, and they're doing blackface. I couldn't believe it when I saw they were doing blackface. And these from the 20s, if I find those more frightening than anything we have nowadays.
Don't want to meet them on a dark night.
Aren't those scary? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I was going to say, by the 1950s, Halloween had evolved into a holiday directed mainly at the young. And if you're old enough, you remember UNICEF and watching Danny Kaye in a movie in your school every single year telling you, go out with your little cardboard containers and pick up pennies for UNICEF. Because we did it every year.
Was that at Halloween?
At Halloween. Well, it wasn't just trick-or-treating for candy. It was trick-or-treating for UNICEF.
I don't remember
They
that.
help feed starving children in like Africa or in third world countries.
I vaguely remember boxes, but I thought that was at church.
It was the UN.
I don't remember. That's a
But I
lot.
lived I lived near New York, so of course it was the UN.
So let's see. Due to the high numbers of young children during the 50s baby boom, many of us are part of that. Parties moved from town civic centers into the classroom or home where they could be more easily accommodated.
Yep.
Trick-or-treating was a relatively inexpensive way for an entire community to share the Halloween celebration. In theory, families could also prevent tricks being played on them by providing the neighborhood children with small treats. I remember that if you did not have your porch light on, you got egged, water bombed, or toilet papered back in the 60s, early 60s, late 50s. That's what I remember.
For us, turning the light off meant we're out of candy, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it means nowadays. But back then in the 50s, I don't think so.
And I remember it was for safety that when I was bringing my kids up, they had their classroom parties. And when you went out trick-or-treating, you took them to the people you knew. You went to that house.
Well, that's because people started putting razor blades and candies and crap like that in the 70s.
I know. It became unsafe.
Screwed it up for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad. Anyway, for the tradition of dressing in costume obviously had European and Celtic roots. In the early 20th century, Halloween costumes were geared towards spooky themes as opposed to current events and were mostly handmade. The goal of early costume wasn't to dress up as a particular creature or character, but rather to conceal one's identity in a spooky way that evoked things like ghosts, witches, black cats, or the moon. Let me see what this next one looks like. Those are boxed.
Or skeletons. My mom was always a skeleton.
I was always a witch because I was born so close to it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So box costumes, if you can remember them, box costumes were considered expensive luxuries during the Great Depression era. So many families continued to make their own Halloween outfits using costume patterns.
Look at this. Here's a costume pattern from the 1950s with 50 different costumes in it that Mama could make.
And my mom would not buy them because they were too expensive. We always had to
remember having box costumes particularly, maybe, but I do remember my mother making costumes.
Yeah. And in the 50s, the mass-produced boxes, the box costume became more affordable, so more kids began to use them to dress up. Costumes in the 1950s also started to take inspiration from current events or comics. I remember a lot of comic characters.
Mm-hmm.
And the 1970s saw some more changes to the Halloween costumes. And there was a period when Americans began wearing presidential masks, particularly the most famous one, Richard Nixon. And Halloween costumes in the 1970s and 80s became more gruesome. and with the rise of slasher horror movies. And then again, horror movies also submitted Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees masks as classic horror costumes.
Scary. So here's another thing. Why do witches ride? Yeah, Point Break. Exactly, Leah. Why do witches ride brooms? It's not exactly clear when the broom itself was first invented, but the act of sweeping goes back to ancient times when people likely used bunches of thin sticks, reeds, and other natural fibers to sweep aside dust or ash from a fire or hearth. The word broom comes from the actual plant or shrub that was used to make many early sweeping devices. From the beginning, brooms were associated primarily with women, and the ubiquitous household object became a powerful symbol of female domesticity. The association between witches and brooms may have roots in a pagan fertility ritual in which rural farmers would leap and dance astride poles, pitchforks, or brooms in the light of the full moon to encourage the growth of their crops. Boy, would I like to have seen that. That's hilarious. This broomstick dance became confused with common accounts of witches flying through the night on their ways to orgies and other illicit meetings.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then we have pumpkins. The Irish custom of lighting jack-o'-lanterns to ward away evil spirits came to have a Christian-themed allegory attached to it. A character named Stingy Jack outsmarts the devil and avoids hell, but his sinful dealings keep his soul out of heaven. Instead, his soul roams the earth, lighting his path with an ember held in a carved radish. And it's believed that Irish immigrants in America used pumpkins in place of turnips during times when turnips were hard to come by. And Halloween, as well as practices like pumpkin carving, spread far and wide through them. And we have trick-or-treating, another custom. There is much debate around the origins of trick-or-treating, but generally there are three theories. The first one suggests that during Samhain, Celtic people would leave food out to appease the spirits traveling the earth at night.
The second theory speculates the candy boon stems from the Scottish practice of guising, which is a secular version of souling. During the Middle Ages, generally children and poor adults would collect food and money from local homes in return for prayers for the dead on All Souls Day. A third theory argues that modern American trick-or-treating stems from Belsnickeling, a German-American Christmas tradition. Children would dress in costume and then call on their neighbors to see if the adults could guess the identities of the disguised. In one version of the practice, the children were rewarded with food or other treats if no one could identify them.
Well, since one of them had to do with collecting money, I suppose that's why UNICEF put their money boxes out there.
Yeah. Then we have bats. Bats were likely present at the earliest proto-Halloween celebrations, not just symbolically, but literally. Celts lit large bonfires, which attracted insects, which in turn attracts bats. Soon spotting bats became connected with the festival. Medieval folklore expanded upon the eeriness of bats with a number of superstitions built around the belief that bats were harbingers of death. I only got afraid of bats because of vampire bats and the old Dracula movies, the black and white Dracula movies.
Right, and he turned into a bat. So that scared the heck out of me as far as bats.
That's right. He went from bat to vampire. I don't want any bat around.
Yeah, he flew into the room as a bat and then changed and went, I don't want no bats. Anyway, black cats. Now, the idea of being spooked by black cats dates back to the Middle Ages, when these dark felines were considered a symbol of the devil. It didn't help that centuries later, accused witches were often found to have cats, particularly black cats.
Childless cat ladies.
So people began to believe that cats were a witch's familiar, supernatural entities that would assist in their practice of dark magic. And black cats and spookiness have been linked ever
I
since.
love Amanda Carroll goes, kitties. I feel the same way. I love black cats.
And then we have their
The
color.
bubonic plague was actually carried by the rats, not by the cats. I
Right.
did a book report on that when I was in the 4th grade, and my mother saved that. Passed it back
true.
to me.
Although they are both rodents.
A cat's not a rodent.
That's a rodent.
A cat?
Oh, not a cat. I thought you said rat for the bubonic
The
plague.
bubonic plague was rats.
Sorry.
Okay.
My hearing aids aren't in yet, guys.
That's all right. No
So
worries.
anyway, the next was the black and orange. Those are the colors of Halloween that we know. The traditional Halloween colors of black and orange also trace back to the Celtic festivals of Samhain. For the Celts, black represented the death of summer, while the orange symbolized the autumn harvest season. Mhm.
Halloween evolved out of a Catholic holiday called All Hallows Eve, which occurs this day before All Saints' Day. All Saints' Day was generally celebrated on November 1st after Pope Gregory changed it from its original date of May 13th. So Halloween was never, ever, ever a Christian holiday. It was just the day before All Saints' Day. In the Orthodox Church, All Saints' Day continued to be celebrated in late spring on the first Sunday after Pentecost, which in turn is 7 weeks after Easter. The Pilgrims banned the celebrating of Halloween in America because of its pagan roots. As a matter of fact, Halloween was not even celebrated in America until 1845. During this particular time, a large flood of Irish immigrants came to this country during the potato famine of 1845-46. They brought with them the old Druid holiday of Halloween. Gradually celebrating the Halloween spread throughout the rest of this country. So we've all celebrated Halloween. What are your all's favorite Halloween traditions? I'm dressing up in my unicorn outfit and gonna go to my daughters to help the kids pass out candy. So I have my beautiful unicorn crown lopsided tonight. My pretty little ears.
And growing up, one of my favorite things to do is to hand out candy and see all
Mine too.
But when I got married, I moved to the country. Nobody came. Nobody came. And then we moved down to
Well, nobody came in Key West either.
nobody came in Key West.
Nobody comes here. Nobody came at the ranch. It's really
And-
gotten out of habit.
Apartment building, they can't get in. Nobody comes. Besides, these apartments are not made for kids. These are not.
It's all older people there. You would.
But I'll make a bet that those apartment buildings that are family friendly have parties in the basement in their living room.
Even here, I live on in a nice little neighborhood on a big corner, and I asked my landlord. She says that they don't ever get trick or treaters. I guess we're so close to university; it's mainly college kids around here.
Yeah, I'm sure they have parties.
Hey, Marilla.
And then I really think that the scare as far as razor blades and needles and things like that in the candy, that happened a lot when I was a kid. And that put a real big damper on anybody trick-or-treating.
Yep, it did.
Yeah.
I don't remember that as kids. I remember it as when my daughter was a kid. We never had anything like that when I was a kid.
Well, I grew up on the East Coast and that was a problem.
I'm sure that was
true. And look.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Well, look, we've got a half an hour. What do you say we read some cards?
Okay, we can do that.
Anybody interested in having their cards read this week before Halloween? And please, if you haven't, jump up there and hit the like button and the subscribe button and the notification button, if you don't mind, and share any of our videos you think are good with your friends. We'd really appreciate that. We're almost at 1,000 peoples. We're almost at it. We're at 9:23, so we really could use some more subscriptions. And our next show is the lovely Akila B. We are so excited to have her with us. And then Monday, it's going to be a busy week for Miss Heather. Monday is the Wisdom Circle, and Heather's going to is our presenter and is going to talk about changing our reality.
Right.
And then on Tuesday, Heather's remote viewing the Bermuda Triangle. Are you having to do some time traveling as well?
Oh, yeah. Time and dimensional traveling for Bermuda Triangle is something completely different. It's not just like go to the place and you're there. With it being in the water the way it is, you can't just land on the water. I ended up being in different timelines and different dimensions, not just here, and thankfully they sent somebody to help me out. And
if they don't, you can always ask Heather when you get there. Just
they keep me afloat no matter what's going on. So it's a different experience. I'm going to go back again before the show, but because I like to go several times to make sure I didn't miss something,
Right.
So
yeah, I'm sure it takes several times to find all that you're looking for. I can't even imagine.
And it takes me a while to think of different questions. And so by going back several times, I have other questions to ask because they're very friendly about answering them. But you do have to ask the questions in order to find out anything. So,
well, we've always found it hard to find the right questions to ask. It's like, I don't know enough to ask, to know what question to ask.
I don't know enough to ask, but as you go, you find out more. You're going, but what about, so.
Exactly. That's got to be helpful. Okay, yeah. I'm using my Seasons of the Witch deck, the Past Lives Oracle, Past Life Energy Oracle, and the Sacred Rebel deck.
Okay, and Marilla didn't get blue highlighted.
Let me see.
Above Libby Ann.
Got it. I got her.
Okay.
I got it. Okay, Hypnicity will be our first.
Hypnicity. All righty. And of course, I am using my Metatron deck and my energy deck. And I can't remember what this one is, but I was drawn to this one tonight. It's a different one than I usually use, but they were saying use this one. So follow what they ask.
Follow the leaders.
That's right. And this is Hypnicity.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed the show. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed finding out all the different information.
And I've always been into sociology, and that's more of what this is really. It's not so much history, sociology.
You got it, Leah.
So, yep. I guess it's that one. If you're going to fly out, that's the card.
I got Leah and Miss Nissa as well. Of course, Akila. We got half an hour. I think we have time to do everybody's cards. We're doing pretty good. Hey, Craig, how are you? Let's see what your guide, Clara, has to say.
Okay. Let me get there. I'll listen.
Okay, what have we got here? Oh my God, we talked about brooms, and that was the first card that came up. That's crazy.
Okay. My first card for her, since you're still working, it's a wake-up call. And it's from the Metatron deck, and it's saying, listen and take note. They're telling you, listen, not listen in the Listen, you're doing the work, you're taking the action that's needed to be taken. You will have victory and you will have success. Listen up. That's what they're telling you. Okay? Put doubt in yourself.
You done?
Mm.
Oh, okay.
It
Well,
was just saying, listen.
okay. I kept waiting for more.
No, they were just saying, this
Just
is
listen.
good. Do what have faith.
Okay. Okay. First of all, I've got the broom. I thought that was interesting. The broom says, "What dreams may come from what you seek. Make room, make way, a clearing need be." So, what it's asking you to do is clear out some nonsense, things that are no longer serving you, and make room for them to manifest what's coming in. But we have to we have to make space. We have to sweep out the old and let in the new. Now, I also got the betrayal card. Deceit and betrayal and manipulation. Somebody is trying to manipulate you behind the scenes. See that card right there that says broom? Sweep those people out of your life or that person. Go inside. You have everything you need to figure out who and what it is if you don't know already. But everything you need is inside. So all you have to do is go inside and listen. Hate to say that word, but it's just double downing on what she said. I need to declutter, Hypnicity says. This is decluttering a human, I believe. Somebody that's causing you,
Quit listening to others. Listen to yourself.
yeah. Don't listen to the other people. Listen to you. I think that's the main thing. Okay. Interesting that you got it. They were so close readings.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, MJ.
MJ.
Card, please. Walking the dog. Have a nice walk with the puppy.
Yeah.
Mine's waiting for me to finish this so I can walk her.
Mine went out just before we started, but our elevator isn't working. So I've been climbing 3 flights and going down 3 flights.
Oh my God.
Good exercise.
I can't even imagine 3 flights. I complain about the 13 steps I have on the way out or the way in.
Hey, I must need the exercise or they wouldn't have broke it down.
That's beautiful.
Interesting. Wonder what the third one says.
I love this.
Okay. If you're not ready, I'll go ahead.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. They're saying, because there are 3 cards here, and it was financial constraints, prosperity begins, and warrior of light. And basically, what they're telling me is that although there have been some financial constraints for you, things that you wish you could have gotten, but you knew you couldn't afford to. So therefore, you didn't get them. They're saying, remember that you are a warrior of light. Okay. It just says silver, but you are a warrior of light. And therefore, those financial constraints are just trying to hold you back. They're not going to, because prosperity is going to begin for you. everything's coming together. The prosperity will be there.
Sweet. Well, I got the journey card that you're on this journey, and everything that you have collected along this way is here to help you through that journey. Daughters of our mothers, walkers of the unknown, take with you on this journey all that you own. Your ancestors are walking beside you as you dream this beautiful dream into existence of what you want your life and our collective world to be in the future. I thought this was kind of funny, this card coming up. But I see you as a person of authority, and I actually think they should make Kamala on this card, not this man. It says vote today. But a person of authority, more and more are going to be women, not men in the
Who
future.
made that card, male or a female?
I have no idea. Nevertheless, you're dreaming this beautiful dream into existence as you walk the path of this journey, and your ancestors are there helping you stay on the path and helping you on your journey, as we all have.
Yeah,
been
they
doing.
actually tie together. Remember, you are light, and
You are
those
light.
hardships are going to go away. You're on your way.
It's lovely.
Mhm.
Whoa, let me get back over here and see what's going on. I hope she has a car repair. Ugh. Those can really be horrible. I hope that resonated. Okay, we have Amanda. Oh, wait a minute. No, this was a comment from Amanda. First of all, I'm back in the house. Probably won't see much. I loved once sitting in a rocking chair with my black cape and scary music, giving candy out. I know it was so much fun to do that.
I know it is.
I'm really excited to do it again on Thursday because Jennifer lives in a neighborhood with tons of kids.
And kids used to be more appreciative than they are now. There's now kind of a entitlement feeling
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, Livianne's next. And then Amanda Carroll, and then Marilla.
Livian.
Then Leah, Miss Nissa, and Akila, and Craig. Okay, I think that's probably all that we're going to be able to take anyway. Okay, Livianne cards.
Okay. Okay. I think they're all calling for people to do things because the first card I picked up was answer the call for leadership.
Huh.
And you have the connection. This is Archangel Uriel. That's the seventh chakra. But you have the connection. They want you to step up to the plate. And you'll find that there are financial and material changes when you do this. Okay. But they're saying, follow the call. You are connected. It's going to make a difference to you.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that card before, and I don't know this card. Give me just a minute. Oh. Okay. Okay, the first one I got was the coming of winter. And that talks about going inside, self-reflection, taking care of yourself on the cold winter's nights. The winter's not a time to be out and doing things. It's time to be in. I'm gonna have to mute. It's gonna have to be go inside. Um, Learn from your experiences in the last year. Think about what you've been doing over the last year and what things have worked for you and what things haven't, so that you can let those things go during a full moon. That's what I would do. Um, and the addiction card came up: reactive behaviors, reclaiming your power. The self reflection, meditation, those kinds of things, thinking about what you've experienced, what you've learned in the last year. Reclaim your power over those things that aren't working for you, whether um, any kind of behavior that doesn't work for you, reactive behavior, whatever that may be. Uh, Try to see those issues from a different perspective, and so that your reactions aren't quite as fast or harsh. Um, I think that's what that's about. And then collaborate. This is beautiful. Collaborative dreaming. Your dreams aren't just about yourself, they're about the collective as well. You, your heart naturally and intelligently cooperates in the grand scheme of loving creativity, working to heal the hearts of the world. You're asked to be honor your growing desire to create with conscious, like minded people. Your collaborative dreaming is a heart inspired win win, bringing mutual enhancement to yourself and other. The heart wants to love and be loved. Working with others creatively is a way to allow your heart to grow. That's just beautiful. I hope those cards resonate. I hope they make sense to you. Let's see if she has any response. Okay. And Amanda Carroll's next. Hello, Miss Amanda. I hope you're doing well. It got cold in Colorado today. The weather changed. It got cold and damp. I guess it's winter time. Fall has flown. Okay. Ooh, how fun. Are you ready? Okay, I'm ready. I pulled Nature Spirits. On your toes, twirl until you're ready to take flight. They arrive in the winds beneath your wings and speak through the swaying of the trees. This is really, you have berries and resourcefulness, intelligent mental action, and right thinking. Well, guess what? I think you're related to this nature spirits, and the fairies are coming your way. I believe that the love in your heart makes you very much loved by them and interesting to them as well. Oh, and receiving was the third card. Open yourself to receiving. Remember, we get rid of stuff to be able to receive stuff. So just let anything go that's not resonating with you, anything that's not to your highest good. I would know that you are actually receiving messages from from the nature spirits, and maybe you can verify that for us. But your intelligence, your correct mental action, the way that you're thinking is all bringing you into connection with the fairy world. Okay. Whoops.
Okay. So the first one is that this is the moon goddess. And she's saying you're very connected, but there are times when you really, really need to go within. And when you go within, you can find out about all the mysteries of life because you know the answers. And even if you didn't, you are very connected, but you do know the answers. So the mysteries and the mastery of life is all there for you to find. And they don't want you to be afraid. This is your throat chakra. They don't want you to be afraid to speak your truth. Go ahead and let people know what is true. Okay? So don't be afraid to be standing up there and being counted.
Nice.
So
Okay, the next is Miss Morella. Hello, Miss Morella. Then we have Leah, Miss Nissa, Akila, and Craig. I got 2 new decks this week, the Fairy Oracle and Beyond Lemuria. I'm really excited. I hadn't even opened them yet. Been so busy, I haven't had a chance to open them.
I got one that was a Christmas tarot. So
That's fun. These are fabulous cards, girl. Oh my God. Okay, the first is the spider card. What a wild web we weave, dear child, a delicious mystery untamed. It's just saying we all weave our webs and while you're doing it, dream a beautiful dream. And you have the support of Archangel Uriel, passion, spirit, and connections. I don't know how you could ask for anything better. Whatever it is that you're weaving into the future, dreaming this big, because that's what this is about, weaving your future into something that you want. So weave that into dreaming a beautiful dream. And you can see the flower of light throughout this card. It's absolutely incredible. And then having the support of Archangel Uriel with his passion and spiritual connection, call on him to help you and you got the manifestation down. That's what I think.
and these cards I drew are affirming this. The first card was grief and loss, and you know what that's about. And they're saying you need to take action, get rid of it, let it go. Take action, get rid of it completely. You've done a good job, but they want you to get rid of all of it because the fulfillment of your wishes is dependent upon it. Okay? But they're there. They're waiting for you to have them fulfilled. You need to get rid of these things. Let them go. Okay? But it's pretty much what she was saying.
Pretty much. She understands. She says yes, Heather. Fantastic. Okay, next is Leah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this archangel. There's sure a bunch of them I've never heard of. Okay. Okay. This is just bloody beautiful. Your ancestors are calling you. They want you to know that you're supported, that they are with you, and you are carrying their love, their passion, their joy, their enthusiasm. They're all around you. As is Archangel Haniel, joy, gratitude, intuition. Be sure to remember to live in gratitude. Living in gratitude brings joy. Living in intuition brings gratitude and joy. Play the Sacred Fool. The Sacred Fool is one of joy and happiness in living life to their own drumbeat. There's nothing foolish about them. They follow their intuition. They live their life through bliss. Their bliss. Follow your bliss. That's what the Fool is saying. And you can do that with her help. Ask for Archangel Haniel. I have to look her up. I don't know her. But that sounds like you are so supported by your ancestors. Everything is going your way. Play the Fool. Enjoy life. Follow your bliss and be happy.
And this kind of goes along with it because this is the goddess Moon, which says you are connected. You just said you've got people helping you. You've got others on the other side helping you. You are connected. Don't be afraid to go within. And they're saying you need to go in because you need to untie those karmic knots.
Wow.
And they're going to help you do that. All those little things and they're not necessarily your knots.
Ancestral.
They're ancestral knots. They're not necessarily yours. They're ancestral knots. And when you do that, that will help you because they want you to live in harmony with everything. But getting those knots taken care of, it's going to make everything so much harmonious more for you. Okay?
Sacred clown happy. I love that, Leah. Exactly. She says, "Oh, I'm so grateful for every breath. I'm gonna study her." Yes, I need to find out about her. Okay, let's see who's next. Miss Nissa, are you here? I hope you're here. Then we have Akila and Craig, and then we'll be done. So we're gonna run over a little bit, but that's all right.
Don't we usually?
Sometimes.
Pretty much.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm afraid she may not be here. Miss Nissa, are you here? You're up. Okay.
She'll come back for it if she's not.
Yeah. She's here. Great.
So many of the cards.
Waiting.
But most, so many of the cards that I've been pulling have to do with this new moon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been I think everybody's gotten an archangel, and this one I got Archangel Metatron. Interesting. Powerful. Lovely. Okay, I got the third harvest, which is basically where we are now. It's daughters of the woods, feel thy sacred swell with suppleness, taste the gathering of honey's milk, filling your emptiness. The third harvest is all about this last harvest, uh, so that we can celebrate Thanksgiving, that type of thing. It's the last harvest of the year that we take in and put things away for winter. So prepare for winter. Make sure that you have laid in what you need for the coming months. Then I pulled Archangel Metatron, which is beautiful, ancient wisdom and understanding. Isn't he like the the archangel of archangels, Metatron? Super powerful. He's got your back. He's asking you to call on him to dream a beautiful dream with his help for your future and the future of mankind and the collective is actually what I'm hearing. So man, these are beautiful cards. I don't know how you get much better than that. You've got your third harvest coming in. You're preparing for the winter, going into meditation, taking care, self-care. To me, winter's about self-care because you can't do a lot more. Dream that big dream for the planet, for you, for the universe. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The first card I got for you is that you are on the temple path. You're on your way. You're doing what needs to be done. You know what your purpose is, and you're being supported with that. And they're saying that you have the wisdom to continue doing what you're doing. But they're also saying take a little time out every once in a while to review or reflect so that that helps you stay on the path. So that if you start getting differently than from where you would think you ought to be, you have a chance to pull it back quickly. So every once in a while, take a break, take a look at where you're at, use your wisdom because you are on the path. Use your wisdom to make sure you're right where you want to be. Okay?
And call on that Metatron. He is here to help.
Exactly.
Okay, Miss Akila. Thank you guys for waiting. We appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the Halloween show because I enjoyed it and I love dressing up. So I haven't figured out how to wear my witch hat along with my unicorn outfit. I'm gonna wear it all.
You would cover the horn if you put the hat on.
Well, the horn would stick up and hold the hat on.
That's true. But you wouldn't see it.
Wouldn't see it. Oh, Lordy.
Oh, my.
These are so big, I can't do this. What have we got? Livy, are you out there? Are you okay? I'll be done in a minute, babe. Okay. This is interesting. I think this is about your work. Reflection, card number 32. Be wary of things you believe to see with wise wide shut. They are mirrors of the mad truths only spoken with a bleeding tongue. So what that's asking you to do is take a look at your belief system and see which ones are holding you back. And in conjunction with this is listening for the truth, listening to your soul for the truth. And I know that you speak with your heart, you listen with your heart, and you will understand whatever this card is talking about. But I also got this one, career history, job and work patterns. This is from the past life deck. And I'm wondering if maybe It's time to change the type of job that you're in, that you've been doing the same type of jobs, maybe in different lifetimes. Or maybe it's just talking about the job in this lifetime, and maybe it's time to look at what you've been doing and maybe move on to something that you prefer. I hope that makes sense, but I know go inside and listen, and I know that you're good at that. Maybe you'll understand. I hope that makes sense.
Okay, and these cards, I ended up with 2 for 1 deck. They're so interrelated, it's kind of hard to determine what to tell you first. So they're saying that, you've got somebody you're able to talk to who's full of wisdom and understands what you're doing. Okay. And that's good because they need you to do that. And they're saying your abundance it's just blossoming. It's just increasing. It's doing better and better all the time. But they're also saying with all these things here, that sometimes you need to make an emotional withdrawal. You need to take a break. Every once in a while, you need to come back to yourself. And although you have a support system, they want you to stay grounded with Mother Earth because that's going to help you with your emotional withdrawal. So these things are important for your well-being. I say everything else is working really good. They want you to stay that way. They want you to stay healthy. They want you to take the break every once in a while. Okay, does that make sense to you?
I think so. Yes, it does. There's a lot going on out there, she said.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then I think we have Craig, and that's it.
Yeah, let's see what Craig wanted. This was
Can't
different.
remember. Does my guide Clarabelle have anything to say to me? I'll be doing prayers on the 5th of November for her. Thanks, ladies. Let's see what Clara has to say. I'm going to pull cards on that because I don't think I can not connect to Clarabelle.
She's with you.
Who, Craig?
His
Yeah, she is.
Yes. She's actually very proud of you.
Is this Clarabelle, the actress?
Clarabelle.
Wasn't there an actress named Clarabelle?
I think there might have, or at least. I drew a card. It's blessing. I told you she was proud of you, but she's sending blessings your way too. Okay.
She's the one that had that cute little lips. Clarabelle lips. Yes, I remember her.
Right, Clarabelle. And that's why her last name was Bose, because it was like looking at her lips at a little bow. She appreciates the prayers for her. She's glad she's still remembered.
She likes the fact that you bring her up all the time when you're in other people's
Company.
In chat rooms. She loves the fact that you're keeping her name alive and that she's still bloody famous.
Yeah.
Even through your words.
Yeah.
She has a real sweet energy.
Yes.
A very sweet, kind energy. Playful. I have to go research her. I haven't met her before. Yes, he's keeping her alive in
yes.
this way. That's so cool.
Yes. And she appreciates that. She's very happy about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She got salty with me, I think. I think she's very capable of being salty. She giggled at that.
She's not somebody who hid everything. If she wanted to, if she thought something, she would say
it. She's kind of loud and has a beautiful Brooklyn accent. Yeah.
it. All righty. Yes. That's why I said she doesn't hold back. Yeah. She believed in speaking up and being heard. That's what this card says.
Boy, I'm pulling up some strange cards tonight. Ones I haven't seen before.
She couldn't understand why anybody would say something in such a soft voice, nobody would hear it. A waste of time. She makes me want to smile. She's that kind of personality. She makes me want to smile.
Well, I pulled 3 cards. Greet the darkness was the first one. Here, where the spine bends and the mouth quivers, breathes the hidden, the pieces that make you whole but cut deep with all their short, sharp edges. This is talking about doing some shadow work. This is a shadow work card. Knowing that you have Archangel Zadkiel with his compassion, freedom, and forgiveness working on helping you work through this shadow work. Because there are words and things that you need to be doing. Your creative side needs to get out there. The word wants to be written. Look at her. Isn't she gorgeous? She's asking you to embrace your creative side and follow your bliss. And maybe you need to do a little bit of shadow work and call in Archangel Zadkiel to help you figure it out and help support you through that. That's the message I'm getting.
And
Only she's putting it in a really different way. I can't say what she's saying.
and I'm also getting that the reason she wants you to do the shadow work is because although you talk together easily, it will be even more easily if you get that shadow work done.
Okay.
More
Wow,
spontaneous.
that's cool.
Okay.
She knows I know what you mean. Yep. Okay. Perfect, Craig. Well, everybody, it's time to say goodnight. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here. And
did we miss anybody? I thought there was one more after Craig.
Nope.
All righty. Cool.
Let me make sure. No, that was it.
All righty. Good to know.
Anyway, I love you guys. Please go out, take care of yourself, and have a wonderful Halloween. And we'll see you Saturday with the lovely Akila B. Please join us. Please remember to go hit that like button. I appreciate it. Love to all of you. Take care.